Here are my 5 reasons to keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager of Manchester United. Number 1, the culture of the club. United have made a big error by changing managers, but not only changing managers who have different styles of play. This is a very, very expensive strategy, and this is a strategy of people that don't understand football, because they think that if a player's a good player, he's a good player, he can play in any manager, he's a good player. It doesn't work like that. You need players who fit a culture, who fit a system. If you look at Man City, they buy a certain type of player, and that player fits into a system. They don't buy a player and look to alter a player into a different type of player. They buy a top draw elite player for that system. And the issue with sacking Ole and replacing him with Conte or whatever is you're going to change the style of play. Manchester United need to decide how they want to play for the next 15 and 20 years. They need to make that decision and only recruit managers that have that style of play, and only buy players that fit that style of play. And this is a big reason of why I wouldn't get Conte or get whoever is the flavour of the month. We need to stick with Ole and establish a system, a style of play that then, if Ole were to move on or whatever, resign, whatever, then there'd be a continuity. Now, look at City. I hate giving City credit, but the fact is that they're a very well-run club, because above Guardiola is an overarching philosophy. If Guardiola walks away today, they will hire a manager that plays in that similar style, and the transition will be seamless. They're not going to get Conte under any circumstances. City will not do that. They'll get someone who's maybe managed at Ajax, or they might get someone like Tuchel, or get like a manager that's a bit of a disciple of Pep Guardiola. But the transition is easier, and they won't have to like sell 10 players and buy 10 players, because it's a very costly undertaking. And that's why people go, oh, United have spent a lot of money. United spent a lot of money. Yeah, the context is that they've spent money changing the team, the fundamental style of the team and the players and the tactics. They've not just added on to one system, so they need to decide on a system, and that's why I'd keep Ole. Number 2, question for you. Please comment below. Do United have the best players? Do they have the best midfield? Do they have the deepest squad? No. The answer is obviously no. Like, City have got a deeper and better squad with experience of winning. Chelsea have got a deeper and better squad winning the European Cup. Liverpool have won the league and the European Cup with basically that squad in the past 2 or 3 years, right? It's easy to argue quite that those 3 squads are better than United's, okay? Is that an excuse for if Ole makes an error? No. Is Ole perfect? No. But like being realistic, you have to understand where you are, not where you want to be. And to win this Premier League, you can probably only lose twice. We've lost once already. So you need to go on like a huge run. And can these players win? We'll find out. I'll be delighted if they can. Number 3, context. Right, Ole came, if you remember the last Mourinho game, the Liverpool defeated Anfield. Ole came, players like Fellaini, had Ashley Young, had Valencia, had Sanchez, didn't want to be there, had Lukaku there, who was 25 kilos overweight and went on strike effectively. Ole has got rid of the dead wood. I would guess that the wage budget might even be the same or lower than when he took over, and he's getting more of a tune out of these players. He's moved players on. He's moved players on skillfully. He's not done what Mourinho's done, come out and publicly criticise him. He got decent money for Chris Smalling, really, if you think about it. He'll probably, if we can get decent money for Jesse if he sells him. He's been really effective in moving players on for an okay transfer value, and then bringing better players in. He's laying the foundations for a successful team. That takes time, but he's changed the culture, and he's done it by ridding the squad of deadwood players that didn't really want to play for Manchester United. 4, the McFred partnership. Right? Do you think Ole can't see that Fred is subpar? Do you think that it's not obvious to him that we don't need to buy a deep lying playmaker? Do you not think that Michael Carrick and him don't know that, and that that they're unaware of that? The fact is, and we should be very encouraged by this. The fact is, they've not made a panic buy, right? Van Gaal made some panic buys. United have made panic buys, since Sir Alex left. They've panic bought players. I bet you that they tried to look at deep lying playmakers, deep lying midfielders, and there wasn't one available of the requisite quality or value for money. So they've not just gone out and just bought someone randomly. They're waiting. And if the club want to build a squad with Glazionomics at play, then basically they need to understand that sometimes you may have to wait a year, 18 months, 2 years to buy a player that's going to fit into your system. For me, that's encouraging. What isn't good is where you panic buy players and you just say, oh, we need a midfielder, Oh, okay, we've bid for 7 midfielders. Our first choice, second choice, third choice turners down. We're going to buy our 8th choice. That's the highway to disaster. You should never do that. And that's what United have done when under Van Gaal, for example, they had wholesale changes. They just bought subpar players. People think it's expensive to buy top players. You know what's more expensive? Buying players that aren't good enough, because not only do you pay also decent money for them and decent wages, you can't get rid of them and they're stuck on your wage bill and no one wants them, and you can't get any of your transfer value back anyway. So the Mac-Fred partnership, it is what it is. Ollie didn't buy Fred and he's got McTominay there, and that's the best he has in the squad. So he's trying to make do. He would obviously upgrade that if someone was available. If De Jong at Barcelona was available, United would snap him up. So people need to understand that the squad is still developing and he still needs more time. And the final thing to remember, United finished second last year. They got to the final of the Europa League and they would have won that if Maguire was fit. Tangible progress has been made, and this is a competitive league, and United currently hold Premier League record for being unbeaten for the longest away from home. Major progress has been made. With blood players like Greenwood last year, you got players like Shaw and Rashford that have come on. Loads of players have developed. He's done a great job. If the Glazers have any sense, they'll leave him alone and back him again in January. Try and pick up a midfielder and try and actually get someone that's going to be able to move the ball from the back four to the final third. But I'm encouraged. Ollie needs to stay. The Ollie out brigade are pretty annoying in my view. They just don't seem like United fans because they don't really have any reasons for it. It's just reactive Daily Mail garbage. It's a bit annoying, but whatever, each to their own.